No, we control again, the convergence of blockchain and AI. Now, with AI, you can expect within this year, we're going to see deep fake so real, you cannot tell the difference. People watching this on live stream, they will not know what's here.
We're not here.
We're having dinner somewhere else. So to counter that, you need some form of digital watermark. Mm-hmm. That is actually a cryptographic evidence
that
this is real. Yeah. It's my signature, his signature.
Who puts that? The tech companies? By the way, they're so excited at the back. They're trading crypto on the back of Larry's comments.
It's all your fault. No, we control our private key. It's going to be public key.
It'll be personal.
We'll have control.
It's going to be like your irises, your fingerprints. It'll be a digital.
But it's stored on blockchain.
Yeah.
Witnessed by the global population.
Everybody knows.
Cannot be faked.
Yeah. But does this change everything for just capital markets?
It will. Yeah. I mean, my gosh, if we could tokenize bonds and stocks tomorrow, one of the great things that BlackRock is being accused of is how much vote we have. I wouldn't vote anymore because we would be able, through tokenization, to know the owner of record instantaneous, and each owner of record will do their proxy voting. I would love that outcome. No, but it would democratize investing in all ways that we can't imagine.
Even political systems, how you vote in a country can be changed by that.
And do you think that, again, the Trump administration will accelerate that?
I think they're moving that direction. How far they actually will go remains to be seen.
But if you do have a digital validator, like your fingerprints or your irises, I mean, you could tokenize voting. You could do everything. And so it will change how we think and how we live and what we do. And
we've been talking to some Southeast Asian governments, including Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia. All of them historically have the populations who are trading black market bitcoins and what have you. But now the governments are realizing U.S. is driving a global policy shift. So they're now doing something very clever. They're saying, you know what, we're going to issue a new form of digital ID to every single citizen. Along with that is a digital wallet.
Which Brazil and India has already done.
You're both so fired.
I mean, if you ask me right now, the thing that is not talked about enough, but is coming to your neighborhood faster than you think, this AI revolution is not made up. It's not overhyped. You are already, they're probably, I know I was talking to some people backstage who are associated with businesses here in the Hartford community. I guarantee you, you're going to start seeing shifts in white-collar work as a consequence of what these new AI models can do. And so that's going to be more disruption, and it's going to speed up.
Kuma rayuwar oga na soja wanda mu wannan ba mu da details da yawa. Ina tuna dai oga ya taba zuwa an taba yin wani kes din mai tatsina oga yana head of state wajen 84 zuwa early 85 a Gombe. Tun Gombe na cikin former state. Oga yana tuna wannan ko?
Wato shiga soja fasile aure aka so a yi mani.
Shi ne hikimar guduwa.
Shi ne wato na fito after 9 years a Katsina. Lokacin nan senior primary 3 years ne.
Okay.
Secondary 6 years.
Okay, 9.
Saboda haka na yi 9 years virtually a Katsina.
Haka.
Na zo aka shirya za a yi mun aure. What happened shi ne wata rana na fito daga gida sai na haɗu da wani mutum. Ashe uncle na wani.
Allah sarki.
Shi da father na wata ba da same father.
Allah sarki.
Bai taɓa zuwa daura ba. Da gani sai ce kai mu je ka kai mu wurin uwarka.
Kawai har ya gane daga.
Da gani na.
Ya san gidan.
Na yi kama da father ɗina.
Allah sarki.
Sai ce mu je ka kai ni wajen uwarka. Sai ce in ka bi ta nan sai ce kai ban san shigar daga. Sai ce a sai na shiga gaba na je na ce haza ga bakoki na fito ne tafiya ta to da na dawo tana cewa wannan da shi da ubansu daya
Allahu akbar
ya aure ya ce ko bayan ran shi ya bani a aura mani ita to problem ɗin ina gama middle school ina gama secondary school kai na yi yatsa Katsina na zo za a bani head of department a bani cooperatives head of department a bani motorcycle ga albashi 12 pounds 10 amun aure kuma in zanna nan sai na mutu
12 pounds
12 pounds 10 sai na gudu
12 pounds
12 pounds 10
okay 10
ban sha biyu da goma
okay 12 pounds 10 okay
sai na gudu na shiga soja
what strategy?
My mother was so upset. Throughout her life, ina ta ba ta hakuri.
Akan wannan.
Ina hakuri fushin da ta yi da ni.
Allah sarki. Allah sarki.
Saboda wai tana so ta ga 'ya'yan auta.
Allah sarki.
Ni kuma na kirge da aka mutu da aure da wuri. Dinga ban tsama yaya.
Kamar yadda eldest brother din yayi baban su baban mamma.
Ai shi ne biyu.
Allah sarki, Allah sarki.
Jama'a, wassalamu alaikum. Kwana lafiya. To my Nigerians who don't understand Hausa, first of all, I started by saying shame on you. Shame on you because Hausa is the second largest spoken language in the continent. Anyway, good morning, good joining anyway. You will be joining from. I welcome you to Honor Politics. Today, I know as Nigerians, say we are mourning. I think to me it's a celebration. We'll get to that anyway. If you don't understand Hausa, that video, I can't help you much, but when I listened to that video, I saw that video, listened to it, the first thought that came to my mind was, are we losing? I mean, are we even living as a people, as Nigerians, without naturally speaking our mother tongue as an official way of communicating? Because anytime you hear these leaders in their natural elements, doesn't matter Buhari or anyone, it's a different feeling, give you different meaning of understanding either what they are talking about or life in general, right? When Tinubu went to Abeokuta and said Milo Kon, I mean, somebody should explain to me the better way to actually put it in English, and it will actually mean generate so much controversy if one, but true, hit deep to the core. As you break down that Emiloko in your various understanding and dialect, the more the meaning just bring a different way of seeing life in general. So that's first thing that came to my mind when I listened to Buhari, when he described how he was literally describing how when he finished secondary school, he decided to go back home and now mama and papa they don't arrange marriage. They've arranged marriage someone for him to marry already. But most importantly, go back village. They give him a job, made him head of department immediately. Give him bicycle, which is in today's terms that would be an official call. So they give him bicycle. They pay him 12 pounds, and I think together it's 32 pounds. But the way he talk out, I understand the kind era where he come from. In Palm go no Palm Ashirin debut the Goma, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty much $32 in total, 32 pounds. That's a big goddamn money as at that time. The guy decided to, you know, ditch that offer and join the army. So you say, Mama, his mother was not happy, very hungry, and to keep begging for X amount of time before everything, which is pretty much a lot of people can relate to that kind of story. Some, especially people like us who who are being seen as black sheep of the family, or who don't follow rules and regulation, who always want to be different. Right? I, I I'm somebody that believes that in order to find who you are, in order to move to the next level in life, at times you have to disappoint even the people that love you the most, right? Which is pretty much your parents and your immediate family. And that's exactly what short video of Buhari explained, And if you go to the comment of that video, people that got understand the centerpiece of that interview will tell you that to be great and stand out from others, at some point you must break the rules, disobey if you must, and go after what you want. So that's exactly what Muhammadu Buhari exemplified just from this clip, because we're talking about her in the John Army, May I imagine in the 60s, may you go secondary school, come back. I mean, you are like pretty much somebody with a PhD in today's world. Oh, make I not say PhD, but that's pretty much you just you just get your first degree in the prestigious school or whatever. Then you go back. I mean, all the opportunities is there for you. Maybe today, if you finish school, you find job. You finish secondary school immediately, they made the head of department. Let's have an issue with the connection, I think. I don't know if I'm connected. I think I'm gonna play the video again, then we'll go in details of my own thoughts of Buhari life and what I believe history is going to say
kuma
about.
rayuwar oga na soja wanda mu wannan ba mu da details da yawa.
By the way, that's the incoming president interviewing him. That's former Professor Isa Pantami, former Minister of Digital Technology under the same Buhari. So he's the one interviewing, and the interview in Hausa, was asking him about. The funny thing is that the question, that's why I say when this, especially when these leaders are in their natural element, you see you see life in a totally different way when they talk to you in their true natural self. So the question is centered around
ina tunanin kuma rayuwar oga na soja wanda mu wannan ba mu da details da yawa. Ina tuna dai oga ya taba zuwa an taba yin wani kes din mai tatsina oga yana head of state wajen 84 zuwa early 85 a Gombe. Tun Gombe na cikin former state. Oga yana tuna wannan ko?
Wato shiga soja fast.
The question was about, I think, of course, my long interview, but maybe from where they cut them from. I'm assuming the question was about either one of his own uncle who was either a military leader to Ngobe at that time in the 80s, 84, 84. If you remember, in the early 80s was when Buhari was military head of state. I think I'm back now. I don't know. Sorry if you are hearing me. I don't know. The network is doing anyhow. It's fluctuating. I hope I'm audible now.
Lastly, aure aka so a yi mani.
So, in response to Pantami's question, Buhari decided to say, let me give you a little bit of history of how I joined the military first, why he decided to go the military route.
Shi ne hikimar guduwa.
Shi ne wato na fito after 9 years a Katsina. Lokacin nan senior primary 3 years ne.
Okay.
Secondary 6 years.
Okay, 9.
Saboda haka na yi 9 years virtually a Katsina.
Haka.
Na zo aka shirya za a yi mun aure. What happened shi ne wata rana na fito daga gida sai na haɗu da wani mutum. Ashe uncle na wani.
Allah
sarki. Da shi da father na wata the same father.
Allah sarki.
Bai taɓa zuwa daura ba. Da gani na sai ce kai mu je ka kai ni wurin uwarka.
Kawai har ya gane daga.
Da gani na.
Ya san gida.
Sai na yi kama da father ɗina.
Allah sarki.
Sai ce mu je ka kai ni wajen uwarka. Sai ce
I just like the language where the man they use. If you understand Hausa, you understand when somebody tells you Kenny Uji Waka. So in basically what he was trying to say, what he was explaining to Patami is after in secondary school for Katina, right, in Adora, which is his own village, so went to Katsina, which is now the state capital. It's a capital. After the son go do his primary and secondary school, primary 3 years, secondary school 6 years, that's 9 years. So he came back home and then now mama and papa don't they make arrangement, making arrangement for him to get married. So that was what he was saying. But to get to the after that, he said as soon as that was the arrangement awaiting him as soon as he came back from the school. So on a good day now, was taking a walk on the street. So he saw one man, saw an old man, an elderly man. Unknown to him is his uncle. So as the man saw him and recognized him, just based on his look, that he looked like his own brother. Like he looked like his father. Buhari looked like his own father. So he called him and said, you come here, take me to your mother's place. But the way he talk out, Kakenigu Waka, and out in outside language, in a different context, Waka is an insult, right? That's your mother, Waka. So if an elderly person see you from your uncle, he say, come, Kakenigu Waka. In a sense, now like commands and order, but not in a rude, I don't know, not in a very condescending or rude way. But as a kid, when an elderly person use that kind of language to either address you or command you or send you a message, say that's a serious not to you whether you do anything wrong or whatever, but in this case, you're just trying to say, just like you saw a kid playing on the street and happens to be your brother's or your sister's son, child, which is called nephew or a female niece in this, for the sake of conversation. So, and now for that, now the guy he say he no get choice. He has to lead the way to his mother's presence.
Kabita nan sai ce kai ban san shigar da gasa ni ce sai na shiga gaba na je na ce haza ga wakokin yi na fito ne tafiya ta to dan da tana cewa wannan da shi da ubansu daya
Allahu akbar.
ya aure ya ce ko bayan ran shi ya bani a aura mani ita to problem din ina gama middle school ina gama secondary school kai na yi yatsa a Katsina na zo za a bani head of department a bani cooperatives head of department a bani motorcycle ga albashi 12 pounds 10 mun aure kuma in zanna nan sai na mutu
12 pounds.
Okay, so now it is his mother that is explaining to him that that man is your father's brother. They have the same father, the same, of course, which is an uncle. So that there's already a girl, somebody that's been already arranged for him to get married to. I just come back from school now, so make you find job for you, get you a wife, and settle down and start the family life. But in Islam, in his own word, he said, "Well, they want me to get married, start job, and just live a family life till I die." So that's why I use it. Well, when you see these people in their natural elements and they speak the way they speak, you understand that this Oyibo wey dem give us is a weapon against even just our own way of to live, to interact with each other. And the basic fact of we human is the fact that we have ability to communicate, to understand each other. And that's the big difference between us and every other animal. Not saying every other animal know they communicate, But we basically we are a storyteller. And I think that's the point I was trying to make on Dr. Damage's show a couple of weeks ago, where uh, Dide was trying to say, no, 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 the narrative. I like, no, my brother, my grammar, na be the problem. I know what I'm talking about. When I say human being as storyteller, I'm literally saying every human being on this planet, all we do is just talk. And that's the story. The way we live. And that's why some people will always tell you, don't let, or they say now, they say, don't let anybody tell your story. The worst thing that will happen to any human being is to his story to be told on his behalf. Literally giving your power to other people to tell your story as you want it. But if you are in charge of your own existence, you're always present, you are aware. No matter how anybody trying to tell your story, it's not going to be successful, because the way you choose to live your life separates you from every other person, which is, as far as I'm concerned, that's, if there's anything like God, that's how He make everybody to be different. But the fact that some power, some ideologies, some meaning, whatever out there trying to coerce everybody to reason alike, which is very easy way to control group of people. If you ask me, the idea that we have to go to school, all of us study the same thing, reason the same way, just to fit into the agenda of the day, it's ridiculous. So ability for you to understand that and ask different things differently, not that doesn't mean make you special in any way, shape, or form, but the fact that you are living your natural and true self, you are telling your story. So that's exactly what Buhari is trying to tell us through this interview. Right, so arrangements was made for him. Good job was already a long given head of department. Salary is £12 and 10. The way they talk, then you understand the era where he come from. I think even Pantami himself was trying. It took him time to actually understand that 12 pound 10. £12 10. So Pantami was thinking it's just £12. No, the Buhari retired, £12 10. In other words, it's just £22, right? But again, you have to understand is the era, £12 10. So there's a job, a wife, good salary, a private car in this context, bicycle, brand new, But he's in the charm and he took off. He ran to join the military instead of that.
12 pounds, huh?
12 pounds 10.
Okay, 10.
Man sha biyu da goma.
Okay, 12 pounds 10, okay.
Sai na gudu na shiga soja.
What strategy?
My mother was so upset. Da dinga throughout hala ina ta ba ta hakuri.
Akan wannan.
Ya hakuri fushin da ta yi da ni.
Allah sarki. Allah sarki.
Saboda wai ta ce wai tana so ta ga 'ya'yan auta.
Allah sarki.
Ni kuma na kirge da aka mutu da aure da wuri. Dinga ba su ma yaya.
Kamar yadda eldest brother din yayi baban su baba mamma.
Ai shi ne.
Allah. Allah sarki, Allah sarki.
Allah, Sarki, Shema God, the King, that's the colloquial interpretation of Allah Sarki. Anyway, our former president, the president of Muhammadu Buhari, joined his ancestor at the official age of 82. I mean, I remember when he was elected president, I just said to myself, I said, God damn, man, this man is just going to live his retirement life as a mini god. The same thing I'm saying about Tinubu anyway. Because these are retirement life. Imagine at that tail end of your life, may you just go sit down as God. May the whole nation they serve you at the back. I mean, would what a better way to end it all. So from that context, I envy these men from every sense of the word. Like literally, your last days on this planet Earth, may you live as a mini god or as a god in general. What a better way to exit this fucking life. From that context, so when I see people they celebrate death in general, I mean I don't really understand why people they feel that they happy see somebody die. I always it's up to date. I never understand why anybody would celebrate say somebody die. Like as if I don't get it. Death it's not a punishment as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that kind of get to me at time is when young person die. I dey always ask myself like, oh shit, imagine I just the jump to conclusion. Imagine how what life would have been for him or what it would be, if he live up to let's say 40, 50, 60, So that's it. I'll just it will just hit me for a brief and I just forget about it. Say, okay, it's gone, it's gone. I mean, it's what your her word has ended. And that's how I understand again about when they say, oh, the word grew and the word grew. Nigga, if you die, your word don't end. That's it. It's over. That's it. It's not. So when people they celebrate, say somebody die or they kill someone, I'm like, yo, everybody, nobody's gonna get out of this life alive. We're all fucking gonna die. And the beauty of it is that we don't know when or how. Like, no matter who the fuck you are, you don't know when or how you're going to die. So the idea that so now if somebody now lives to be 80, like that means you have a 20 years bonus. If you look deep into all the our history in terms of human, you will know that anybody we clock 60 is just living on a bonus time. Now people they live to 100 and all what have you. I get that point, but I don't know. After like 60, I never reached 60, but I think it just you're just living on the bonus time. For now, let's narrow it down to the Buhari as a person. How lucky, I hate to use that word because for me, luck is a preparation with opportunity. But how fortunate and blessed, to the man, the guy live his life. Even the Bible, I think is Matthew 22:14 that says that many are called, but few are fucking chosen. How many people would die as president? Just like then as in just if you close your eye, any country you may live in today, any country, regardless of how old that country is, and that since the Chinese civilization that dated back to 6,000 years, or the American experiment that started 249 years ago, or Nigeria that started. I mean, you can literally just close your eyes and just run down the press. How many people that led that country up to date? Harmful. So these are the true, for me, that's what Matthew is talking about in that his book of Matthew chapter 22 verse 14, that many are called, you are chosen. Because Buhari is not just the chosen one in his family, not just from his village, from his state, but for the whole fucking country, from his generation. I mean, how many people can tell that kind of a story? It's one of two people that have that similar story in Nigeria history to date. Imagine how many millions of people have passed, hundreds of millions of people have passed through that physical geography called Nigeria. Now, only a handful of, only two people can say, I have been number one citizen at two different times in my life. I had the opportunity to preside over, to govern this country, to take over this country twice. Only two motherfucking people that can say that. That's Muhammadu Buhari and Obasanjo, who is still living, by the way. So, if that is not the true example of many are called but few are choosing, I don't know what it is. So when people they celebrate it, that's like, what the fuck are you guys like? This man live his best life at the early age of in his early 20s. Has already assumed the leadership role. He was already a captain, leading group of men. In his 30s, he was a state governor. 40 become the head of state. I mean, if this is not the best of life, I don't know what that is. 200 years from now, if you look back to this era, now only Buhari name now you will hear. And those people along that line of Obasanjo and the rest. The other millions or billions of you of us, nobody go do us. 200 years from now, if you look at the year 19, the year 2000, no, the year 2000 and what, 15 to 2023, the only name that will be mentioned in history book 200 years from now is Buhari and his movement. That's it. So before you go begin celebrate, or before you go begin celebrating don't die, or he waste his life, or whatever you want to think of, how he's live his life, just think it from that perspective, from that point of view. That 200 years from now, if they look back to the year 2020, 2015 to 2023, only one person's name will be loud, bold, and clear, which is Muhammadu Buhari, a man who led Nigeria during that period. Nobody will even know about who the vice president was or the millions of people that he must. No, 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 no. Those people will not make it. Just like today, everybody is talking about Martin Luther King, forgetting about the millions of people that make the movements, the changes of the civil rights movement. About millions that made it happen. Nobody know them, but we all know Martin Luther King. Obasanjo was once asked, what would he like to be known or remembered for after he's gone? His answer up to today, it keeps me awake. Obasanjo just simply put it that I was here. I rewind that interview, that particular phrase, maybe over a million times. I might be over exaggerating just to tell you, just to know if I actually hear him clear. Now, Chuda, that guys, that Chuda something. That's the guys that interviewed Obasanjo. It was last year. What would you like to be remembered for? This is a man who had similar life as that of Buhari, governed Nigerian space wise. He said that I was here, and I was like, motherfucker. Every fucking day that I wake up, I think about that simple answer. That I was here. And I was like, what? So when Abraham Maslow was talking about his hierarchy of Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs, at the top of it all is what self-actualization. That became it just take me give life a whole new meaning for me. Self-actualization. I mean, I understand that from for a while why men who have attained success materially, who have stupendous money, but are still struggling to attain people's power. What do I mean by people's power? May your own people, in whatever form, gather to say, you are the chosen one. There's nothing that trumps that. If you read so many books about the drug lords, the famous ones like the Escobars and the likes of them, see they die. Like the one from Colombia, see he died. He just wanted to be elected president. He's richer than the fucking country. Because that's the only way you will be remembered that you are once here. In today America, 200 years from now, if the history of today America is going to be written, only two names will appear in the history book over and over again. That is Donald J. Trump and the MAGA movement. People will barely even remember Elon Musk, the richest motherfucker on the planet. So if you ask anybody who's the richest man 200 years ago, you have to. For 200 years ago, you can easily tell who runs America in terms of who their president was, the likes of Abraham Lincoln and the rest of them. So when Obasanjo simply put it, that what he wants to be remembered for, that he was here, it makes so much sense. And every day that I wake up, that shit hit me. So no matter how you want to see Buhari, Muhammad Buhari, before you dive into his legacy as a leader, whatever it does, but as a human, because one question that me myself begin to ask myself since my mom died was, what is life? What's the fucking life? Why am I here? I always ask people, can you remember your fifth grandparent? I never see anyone that said yes. Yes. But those people are brilliant, more intelligent. I mean, whatever you think you are today, the same thing, that's what they thought of themselves. But we can barely remember. Those are our blood. So what the fuck is life and why are you here? So as I said before, we begin to dive into his leadership style, whatever I don't know. But as a fucking human being that you are here, or you're just passing by, however you see life, you as a human, right? The fact that you're human, that's what you have in common with 8 billion other folks. Will you be remembered that you are here? So you pass this. Or how long will you be remembered after you are gone? That's another question I always ask. Maybe 5 years, 10 years, nobody knew you existed again. 20 years, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. or maybe now only all you went, all your members, your family are finally have all gone, then it's over for you. Nobody remember or talk about you again. So how long will people be talking about you? Now, what people talk about you about, good or bad, that's a different for me. That's the judgment for me. That's when people say, "Oh, you go to heaven, you'll be judged." No, to me, that is judgment. What people say about you after you are gone is judgment. Now, one can say, oh, okay, that is relative, right? So Osama bin Laden, everybody, millions of people are still talking about it, but from a very two different perspectives. To some people, he's hero. To some people, the devil incarnate. Same thing with Hitler. Same thing with the, as I said, with the Martin Luther King. As a human being, for me, you are meant to be misunderstood. You are meant to be controversial because that's who we are. We are fucking different. And 99% out of the time, what we don't understand, what we don't know, what we cannot relate to, we quick to conclude as that thing as evil. That person is mad, right? Some people will go as far to define that as the difference between madness and being a genius is success. So if you see Buhari's life, as I said, he lived 80 years. What else again do you want? He saw his grandchildren, great grandchildren. He's seen it all. He's seen heard the apex of power. He done everything that every fucking human being want fantasize about. But he actually actualized all this all the way. He didn't die young. So from the humanity perspective, as a human, I think he came, he saw, and he fucked shit up. He conquered. He fucked shit up. He lived his best fucking life. Bowing out of this fucking planet as a god. Literally, when you become a president, what is? I don't even know if I if such a life is on offer, either to buy or I should just choose, wish, and it will be given to me. In this case, Barack Obama, who became president in his 40s, early 40s, around 2010, now retired, still living as ex-president, still being respect. I mean, or Buhari, who attained that same position in his heydays, in his late 70s, early 70s, late 70s, then serve two term, rest for 1 year and take a bow. After 2 years, I take a bow. I don't know. Whew. Because I don't. I mean, what is the gain? Which what would you, which, what is there to live for? Right? Is in his head. What is there to live for? I don't know what it feels like to be that old. But if at that age, literally, you've achieved everything. You've settled not just your immediate family, but generations to come. You have put them in a pedestal that billions of people will work their entire life to attain and they will never. So what the fuck is that to live for? So again, compared to that of Barack Obama, who is still pretty much young, still here, but at the age of 40, in his early 40s to he has attained the same to everything. power at his peak, whatever it is. But now he's waiting to see his grandchildren. Okay, that's another reason to live for. I'm not there yet, so I won't. So maybe that's a reason to live for. But compared to that of Buhari, who saw his kids, grandkids, I mean, and just bow. I mean, if you ask me, 82, shit. What is again are you here for? So from that perspective, he killed it. He lived it. He lived a life that billions will only fantasize. Only fantasize. Now, coming to his leadership style as the president of Nigeria, because now with concern, that's what we have in common. Every Nigerian, right? That at one point, Buhari presided over us. And because of his life journey, he had the wisdom to tell us what he thinks should be the best for every one of us. Now, this is where people have different conclusion, opinion, rationale, whatever you want to think about the man. Me too, I got opinion on that too.
kuma rayuwar oga na soja wanda mu wannan ba mu da details da yawa. Ina tuna dai oga ya taba zuwa an taba yin wani kes din mai ta tsina oga yana head of state wajen 84 zuwa early 85 a Gombe. Tun Gombe na cikin former state. Oga yana tuna wannan ko?
Wato shiga soja fasile aure aka so a yi mani.
Shi ne hikimar guduwa.
Shi ne wato na fito after 9 years a Katsina. Lokacin nan senior primary 3 years ne.
Okay.
Secondary 6 years.
Okay, 9.
Saboda haka na yi 9 years virtually a Katsina.
Haka.
Na zo aka shirya za a yi mun aure. Wata haifan shi ne wata rana na fito daga gida sai na haɗu da wani mutum. Ashe an kuna wani.
Allah sarki.
Shi da faza na wasu ba da same faza.
Allah sarki.
Bai taɓa zuwa daura ba. Da gani sai ce kai mu je ka kai nurin uwarka.
Kawai har ya gane daga.
Da gani na.
Ya san gidan.
Na yi kama da faza ɗina.
Allah sarki.
Sai ce mu je ka kai ni wajen uwarka. Sai ce in ka bi ta nan sai ce kai. Zan motorcycle.
12 pounds, sir?
12 pounds 10.
Okay, 10.
I still need somebody I need a Bauchi, I need an outside person to come and just to come and make something clear to me. Because he played with words here. So when he was talking about his father, so because when he said when the uncle came to town, as his first time of coming to Daura, the man never visited Daura before. But upon seeing him, the first time you saw him, he said, so upon seeing him, he said, "This is my brother's. This is my brother's son." It reminds me of my niece. Anyway. Now the way he play with words there is something. It's funny, but at the same time, I want to know why. Because when I was talking about his father, how the man, his uncle, because Pantanisi asked us, the first time he just come to first time I recognize you. He said yes. Buhari said these are his words. Yes. Dege ya gani ya yace na resemble father now. So he used not just that he used English to express his father, his father, for how he even expressed it compared to when he was trying to, the words and how he used to express to refer to his mother, right? He said the uncle, again, yeah, they, let me,
10.
akwai 12 da 10
Okay, okay.
ya tsaka ce ko bayan rai shi
Eh,
ya bani a aura mani ita kai ni wajen uwarka sai ni ce in ka bi ta nan sai ce kai na je
Allah sarki.
bai taɓa zuwa daura ba da
Eh.
gani na sai ce kai mu je ka kai ni wurin uwarka
Kawai har ya gane daga
da gani na
ya san
sai ga
gidan.
na yi kama da fada dina
Allah sarki.
so the Genina, yeah, since I kama the father now. So as soon as he saw me, he knows that I resembled my father, look like my father. Now, compared to when he was trying to say when the man ordered him to take him to his mother, how the words he used there and how he expressed it is that's what's funny to me. So in his own father, it's when he was trying to, express his father, he said, "My command, father now."
sai ce
Sarki.
mu je ka kai ni wajen uwarka sai ni ce in
Now, say, "Kajeka Kenny Woje Uarka." Now, as an outside man, of course, it's not an insult, but it can also be expressed as an insult. Just like when you want to tell a black man a nigger, right? It's two different ways to say it. You can express it as an insult, or you can express it as just a compliment or whatever, however you want to use it. So the phrase worker can appear as an insult, can appear it's also as a command, but I'm just kind of fascinated how he choose to express it that way. Kenny Woji worker.
in ka bi ta nan sai ce kai ban san shigar da ka sai ni ce a sai na shiga gaba ni na je na ce haza ga waƙoƙi
Eh,
na fito ne tafiya
So, within history book will talk about his Buhari legacy as a leader of Nigeria, whether as a dictator or as what? Civilian president. Legacy. I think at the top of those, if you want to atomize his legacy one by one, the obvious one. I think as a president, history will say Buhari came into power at a time where a country or a nation called Nigeria is still defining what sovereignty means. Or there is still at a time where the country is still struggle internally to identify or define who she is. And in the midst of all that, identity politics is at the center of it. So everybody is taking advantage to grab as much as he or she can, not just for the sake of himself, but for the sake of the interest, tribe, ideology that he or she represents. So if history book puts that context, then for me, I think you would define his legacy objectively or rationally. Because just as I said it when he was elected the first time, I said, or after he finished the second time, I said, within the Fulani race, especially from the Nigerian context, outside Usman Danfodio I don't think there's any other Fulani man that has done as much as what Buhari did to put that race the front at the front of mainstream politics, culture. I mean, everything about Fulani became very loud and global with Buhari as the president of the country. And he never shy away to make it clear that yes, I'm here to put my people first. Without saying it, action, they say, speak louder than voice. Outside Usman Danfodio, Buhari has done more to unite the Fulani across West African region since the balkanization of that race within the West African region. Is it the rail that lay from Kanu to Maraba? People don't understand how important and how significant that rail is. In the future, we will get it. I think even the Buhari said it. People no go feel waiting I do now until what 50 years from now. Kadana family, the Nigerian people, and that's the history that the Nigerian, the southern Nigeria need to actually study. Now, one family, if you want to narrow it down to the people of Katsina and the people of Malaraba, now one family. It is the balkanization of the continent, sub-Saharan region by the British or the West in general, started from the Portuguese to the Spanish to the German, whoever, that separate families. So what Buhari did with that rail was to find a way to bring families together once again. And he was successful at that. A lot of Fulani sons and daughters were projected from the local level all the way to the international stage. Go to UN, lives of Muhammadu, Miriam Muhammadu, I mean, tons of them, right? But during Buhari time, that at every stage, pretty much every institution that known to human, the Nigerians are part of, you will see Fulani man there. I mean, what can be better than that? That is part of his legacy. And SARS, for me, is the darkest page of his legacy. Who also ranked top, as some people say, legacy history as his achievements. And SARS, for me, there is nothing low than a president using his resources, these people resources, as a weapon to destroy them, literally wipe them out of existence. Because that's what Enstars was. When he used taxpayers' money, in this case, the Nigerian military, who are being paid to serve and protect Nigerians, but turn around, use that resources to literally wipe them out of existence. For me, that is unforgivable. Unfortunately, Obasanjo started it by turning the military against the people of Odi. Obasanjo did it. Buhari never disappoint. Tinubu sanctioning the Nigerian people just to satisfy the Western corporation is as low as that too. But that's a conversation for another day. So NSAS, as far as I'm concerned, is the darkest page of Buhari's legacy. So yes, infrastructural developments is at the top of his legacy too. He has, I that is an achievement. Unless you build a new road under Buhari, were there new roads that were rerouted, reconstructed? I don't know. Outside the rails, right? Rail from Nigeria to Niger, that's a brand new uh, addition to our infrastructural development. So that is a standalone, will stand the test of time legacy. But outside that, I don't know. Okay, concerning a lot of universities, I guess. Um, I don't know what else would I attribute to him as his legacy as a leader, rather than putting his stripe, his raised at the forefront of mainstream of politics, technique, or the unification of his family within the West African region. NSAS, fortunately. Um, what's the Buhari do now? That stand him out, you know. He didn't do anything at all. He does a lot, but which is what's new, what's special. I don't really have much to say about his legacy, but about life in general as a human, I think he killed it. Killed it. He fucked shit up. Lived the best life you can ever imagine, you can think of, anybody can wish of. He did. So those who are celebrating his death, you live up to 80 years and more. That's really why I say I study people's life instead of celebrating or like. I say, okay. Well, first of all, 80 years is not fucking joke. But I mean, I don't understand, man, how people can not say that. Imagine the last 10 years of your fucking nine out of the last, no, is it nine? 8 out of the last 10 of your life. You live them as God. Literally God. Shit, man. No be everybody could be talking that kind of story, man. The last less, I mean, you imagine you live up to fucking 80 years. 30 out of that, 50 out of that 80 years was just you living your best life. And the 8 out of the last 10 years, you lived it as God. Literally, over 200 million people wake up to think about you, good or bad, every fucking day for straight 8 years. If you know be God, I don't know what that is. That's how you bow out as a God. Now, how that affects people individually is a different conversation. But him as a person, that's a fucking story worth telling. That is a man who came and fucking write his own story as he fucking wants, boldly. So Baba killed it. All his great grandchildren, I mean, can only wish everybody to kill it and live their best life with that longevity and with attaining power and whatever. I mean, whatever you want to think of him, he live an envious life. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, say bye bye. I will come back and talk about Monday. Monday from now on, Monday will be dedicated to Monday Epaholo 2028, my amiable governor. So every Monday, I shall dedicate it to Monday Epaholo 2028. So I will take a bow now and be back and kick that off. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have fun.